guys, and welcome to the science class. Well, today we're going to be talking about the characteristics of oceans and seas. And the first characteristic that I would like to talk about today are these that we call the trench or the trenches. So these are the deepest part of the ocean. And one of the deepest that we got is this. Let me get my highlighter here. One of the deepest is this Mariana Trench, yeah, which is 11,033 meters deep, yeah. So this is one of the deepest part of the ocean that so far, yeah. So imagine how deep is that, bearing in mind that this is the height of Mount Everest, yeah. So bear that in mind because it's just for you to have an idea of how deep is this, okay? So another thing that I would like to tell you is that the ocean floor, this part here, is not necessarily a plane, yeah. In this picture, well, it seems that it's a bit plain, but it's actually like we are here in the surface, like we have many mountains, right? It's not plain really, so we have many mountains here under the ocean, right, on the ocean floor. So I want you to bear that in mind, yeah, because the ocean floor is not perfect as we might imagine, yeah, but it has some mountains, volcanoes, right, many different characteristics. Okay, now imagine that if this is representing 11,000 meters, I want you to imagine that the light that the sun is producing comes until this point, yeah. So until this line, yeah, you have some light, yeah. Under 1,000 meters, yeah. So this line is representing my numbers are terrible here. 1,000 meters, yeah. Below those 1,000 meters, we have got no light, yeah. So the animals, yeah, the marine life that lives here, yeah, is adapted to these conditions they have light, whereas the marine life that lives under the 1,000 meters, yeah, below, they don't have light, and that's why they have adapted to this environment without light. And maybe some of them don't have eyes in that case, because they just don't need eyes because they don't have light. So we're gonna talk about those zones, the zones that have light or not, later on. So here we have this picture that is representing this deep ocean, right? And below this 1,000 meters where light doesn't get to the ocean, right, in this part of the ocean, then the temperature can be of 0 degrees. It's very cold, yeah, because that part of the ocean is not getting any light. So 0 degrees Celsius under the 1,000 meters, okay? That is very important. If we talk about the land that is related to the ocean, we can find many types of classification of these land masses that can be under or on top of the surface of the oceans. The first one being these islands, yeah. So the islands are these underwater land masses. So here we have them, yeah, and they are separated from the continents. They are in the middle of the ocean. We also have these oceanic ridges, yeah, which are these mountains that are underground. We cannot see them, but they can be have very high activity, volcanic activity, right? And as well movement of the plates that we call seismic activity, yeah. Movement, imagine the movement of the ocean floor. So we also have these continental shelves that are extensions of the continents, yeah, and are look, they are here, and here is where the ocean is very close to the surface of the sea in this case, yeah. So this part of the ocean is actually called a sea, and here we don't have very deep water, yeah. Then we have some underground volcanoes that at some point they can reach the surface, forming archipelagos, yeah, like the Galapagos, yeah, or the Hawaiian Islands. Okay, so those are some of the land masses that are related to the oceans. So there are three conditions that determine where the marine life is going to exist or develop. What I'm trying to say is that some animals or some marine life are adapted to the surface, yeah, and some of them are adapted to the deepest part of the ocean, yeah. Now, there are three characteristics or conditions that affect and determine where this marine life is going to develop. The first one is temperature, light, and pressure. So the higher you are, closer you are to the surface, the higher temperature that you're gonna get, more light, and also less pressure, yeah. So if you start going to the deep ocean, yeah, you're gonna find a low temperature because the sun doesn't reach these deep parts of the ocean or the trenches that we were talking about a minute ago. And also there is less light here, so less light, lower temperature, but more pressure, yeah. So there is a high pressure here, yes. The deeper you go, the higher pressure is, yep. So that was this first idea related to these three characteristics. Okay, so right now we're gonna talk about the ocean zones. Yeah, the ocean is divided into two zones, the photic zone and the aphotic zone. Yeah, so photic, we can relate this word to light, yeah. So this photic zone is up to 200 meters below the surface level, meaning from here to here, 200 meters, yeah. And what this means is that the life that is going to develop here in the photic zone is going to be different from the life that is developing here in the aphotic zone, yeah. Now, because we're getting light here, we have many organisms that do photosynthesis here, yeah. That's why we have some algae, and algae are green because they do photosynthesis, yeah. And you see here is indicating in this picture the life on the surface or close to the surface is more diverse. We have more organisms close to the surface, whereas in the aphotic zone we haven't got much organisms, right? Some of them don't have even eyes or don't use much because they don't need light, yeah. So 200 meters it starts the aphotic zone, yeah, where the diversity is not as big as in the photic zone. Have less diversity, less organisms here because it's very cold, as I was telling you before. There is not much food, right? There is no, so the conditions here are pretty rough in the aphotic zone. Okay, so that was today's class. I hope that you enjoy, and we're gonna see each other later on in the Zoom class. Goodbye.